G'day people, so the Game Awards are happening in just a few days. I'm excited for them, and today I wanted to very quickly go through some rapid fire predictions and select the games I think are going to win in their certain categories. Two quick side notes, here I am predicting which games I think are going to win, not the ones I would necessarily choose or not necessarily my favourites, but the ones I predict are going to win. And secondly, I'm not going to go through every single category because there's some of them I really have got no idea about, especially some of the esports ones. So let's go. Out of Game of the Year, there's Celeste, God of War, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Spider-Man. Even though it's great to see Celeste there, I think it's absolutely out of either Red Dead 2 or God of War. It's definitely going to be one of those two games. Honestly, you could flip a coin, but I'm going to go with God of War just because the critics are deciding these awards predominantly, and I think the critics, at least from what I've seen online, definitely have a soft spot for God of War, even over Red Dead 2, which obviously is highly acclaimed as well. Best ongoing game, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, Destiny 2 Forsaken, and No Man's Sky. Even though No Man's Sky made a really cool comeback this year, as I've talked about on the channel, and Rainbow Six Siege and Overwatch are still kicking, I think Fortnite's obviously going to win this one just because of how mega popular it is, and even though I don't really like the game very much, it's undeniable that its popularity is incredibly impressive, and to still be able to have so many players engage with your game whenever you drop new content is really special. Best independent game, Celeste, The Messenger, Return of the Obra Dinn, never heard of that one, Into the Breach, and Dead Cells. I've only played one on this list and that's Celeste, and I love Celeste, and based on from what I hear others talking about online, I think Celeste is definitely the most likely to win because a lot of people played it, a lot of people enjoyed it just like myself. Best multiplayer game, Fortnite, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Monster Hunter World, Sea of Thieves, and Destiny 2 Forsaken. I think the two that have got the best chance are clearly Black Ops 4 and Fortnite, and again, I'm honestly going to choose Fortnite. It's a game that obviously has been super popular this year, and I think critics do really like it, and I think they're more likely to choose it over something like Call of Duty, that from a multiplayer aspect is very similar to what it has been in the past, excluding obviously the new Battle Royale mode. Best RPG, Monster Hunter World, Pillars of Eternity 2, Dragon Quest XI, Ni no Kuni 2, and Octopath Traveler. The one I've by far seen the most about on this list is Octopath Traveler, and I know people really enjoy that game. From what I've seen, the art style looks fantastic. I know people really like it, so I'm going to go with Octopath Traveler there. Hadn't played any of those ones either, so I guess I'm incredibly relevant. Best Narrative, God of War, Detroit Become Human, Life is Strange 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Spider-Man. I've played the majority of those ones and they've all got excellent narratives, but I don't know, I'm leaning towards Red Dead 2 honestly. I think Red Dead Redemption 2's narrative was absolutely fantastic, and I honestly enjoyed that game's story more than God of War and Spider-Man as well. And I think critics are going to think the same thing, especially considering they're more likely to have beaten the game. And that game's narrative can only be appreciated fully if it's obviously completed, which is a no-brainer. Best Performance, Yuri Lowenthal as Spider-Man, Christopher Judge in God of War as Kratos, Brian Deckard as Connor in Detroit Become Human, and I'm going to butcher this one, Melisanthe Mahout as Assassin's Creed Odyssey's Cassandra, and Roger Clark as obviously Arthur Morgan in Red Dead 2. This one's really obvious to me. Roger Clark's going to pick up that award. He absolutely deserves it. Arthur Morgan is fantastic. His performance was fantastic, and I think the critics are going to absolutely agree with that. Best Score / Soundtrack, Celeste, God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, Ni no Kuni 2, Spider-Man, or Octopath Traveler. Dude, these all are fantastic scores. I'm going to say Celeste. I'm going to go with Celeste. Because Celeste hasn't got a huge story focus like the other games on the list, I think it's easier to appreciate the music because for the vast majority of the time, that's all you're hearing as you're playing through the platforming levels. So I think it's easier to appreciate the fantastic music that's in that game, so I think it's more likely it's going to be recognised here. Even though some of those other nominations have got fantastic music, I love God of War's theme, love Red Dead's music as I said as well. Those are the categories for the awards I wanted to cover. After the Game Awards happen later this week, I'm going to go back and see exactly how right I was on the categories I mentioned. As I said, I didn't want to cover esports and other things I wasn't too interested in because I got no idea what I'm talking about in that field in particular. But as always, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited for the Game Awards? What are some of your predictions as well? Let me know. This has been SirCazz, and I'm going to go back to being excited for these new world premieres that are going to be happening at the Game Awards. Farewell.